Hey there, crafty friends. It's Tina the Scrappin' Rabbit, and I have a fun project to share for you today. First of all, I just wanted to show you this little stitch that I made. So I showed you in my last video the little planner clips that I made using this SVG, and I have not had a chance to reply to all of the comments, and I'm probably not going to have enough time to do that for a few more days. But if you're watching, and I did get a question about how I cut these guys out, so I just wanted to let you know that I have a program that helps me to design. It's like a software program, and that's how I use it. And then this is not a print and cut, it is a layered die cut. So I cut out all the little pieces, and you might think that it's printed, because I take the time and I ink all of the pieces using distress inks, and that gives it a little bit of dimension, and so maybe that's why it looks like it was printed. But they're all individually cut and individually inked, and then I individually glue down all of the pieces. So this is definitely a time consumer. It does take some time, and I would say that it's not a beginner project. I've been crafting for quite a few years, and I've been using die cut machines for quite a few years, and paper piecing is definitely an art, you guys, because we can all be given these same exact little pieces, and how we end up gluing them down, our design is going to look a little bit different each time. And so I just to let you know that this is not a beginner project. If you do have a Cricut, there are lots of really cute little critters that are very easy to layer, and there's little lines to show you how and where to glue the little pieces down. This does not have that. This is all eyeballing it and putting it together. So I just wanted to explain that to you. Sorry about that. I had to put Maui downstairs because she has been getting so feisty and excited when she hears me talking when I make my videos. She just wants to be a part of it. So I just went ahead and put her downstairs so she's not screaming in the background for my entire video. But anyways, I hope that that clarifies how these are made. And if you do have a die cutting machine, there are SVG files that are available that you can open up with your die cutting machine and cut out all the pieces, and it cuts out all the different layers, and then you glue them together. It takes me a while to do this because the images are not necessarily cut ready, and so you have to clean up the images and simplify them so that you don't have microscopic pieces that just amount to nothing. So it is a time-consuming process, and it does take some know-how with some computer type of working out. It's not impossible, and it can definitely be learned. I learned how to do it, but it's not something that I learned overnight. So I hope that that helps you if you are a beginner and you're hoping to learn how to do these types of things. I know that there are videos out there that teaches you how to use programs like Inkscape to bring coloring book type of images in there to learn how to cut them. But just so you know that if you are thinking of crafting and selling, you can get some find some recourse with Disney, because they're very strict on people selling their images. And even with the Cricut images, I believe that you are not allowed to sell those because it's licensed. The licensing is for personal use only. So that, I just wanted to clear that up. But let me just show you what I made using this little guy, because the person that I am gifting these two, this is her favorite Disney character, and I am involved in a Halloween themed swap, and we were tasked to make a loaded envelope, and I have to get it in the mail because I'm kind of right there at the deadline to send it. So let me share with you what I made. So I created this loaded envelope, and like I told you, I designed this stitch especially for this project. And I made a wizard. I made him a wizard by using a wizard hat in Cricut Design Space. And this is how I put it all together. So for the envelope itself, this is an SVG made by Lori Nunemaker, and I think that's how you say her name. She has lots of videos here on YouTube. When I have a time, I like to check in and pop in to see what she's doing. She is so talented and so crafty, and so she was sweet enough to make an SVG to be used in Design Space for this loaded envelope, loaded bag style project. So I used hers, and I used cardstock to just put this together. Let me show you the papers that I used. So I purchased this Recollections Midnight Magic Halloween paper, I think last year or the year before. I am such a paper hoarder, you guys. I don't know if this is still available. I didn't see it in Michael's when I was looking at their Halloween stuff. So, but you might have this in your stash if you picked it up. I think I picked it up last Halloween in their clearance sale. So that's what I think. So last year or the year before. But it is a really pretty paper pack, and you get a lot of the gold foil. And so this was the paper that I chose for my theme. And Stitch is so bright and colorful, I felt like he just popped out on this background. And I made 3 pockets. So there's a little pocket here, a middle pocket, and the back pocket. So let me share with you what I put in here. We were supposed to spend, including shipping, $15. I spent more than that, you guys. But that's okay. I really enjoy doing these types of things. So here I did a X-Cut ghost die, and I used some of the paper just to make a very simple topper because I thought that it went more with the aesthetic to have them sticking out. And I didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of handmade stuff because the stitch took me quite some time. And I did share with you the planner clip that I created for her. I have this little Jolie's skeleton in a coffin sticker, and I've got glue gun strings on here. And all I did for this was I used a label die from Jaded Blossom, and I added a little doodlebug sticker on there and took a black marker and drew a little spider web line there. I added these little paper clips that I got, I think, from Target, the One Spot last year. And they're kind of on the cheesy side, but they fit my theme, and they're cute. They're kind of thin and flimsy, but the green candy kind of popped with the wizard hat there. And I threw in a couple of the doilies last year, I believe. I made a ton of these doilies that last year and the year before using some Spellbinders dies, and I just spent probably a couple hours just cutting with all different papers and embossing these because they're really cool. They have embossing on them. So I threw in a couple of those that I thought looked good with the background and the aesthetic. So that is what is in this first pocket. And I know the pineapple probably is a little bit, sticks out a little bit, but because it's Stitch, I don't think that she will mind. And so that is the first pocket, and I'm trying to remember how I had this in here because I want it to look cute. But that's something that you can do if you don't have a die for a topper. Just cut out, measure out your whatever it is that you're topping, and cut it out with the paper, fold it in half, and I just used a corner rounder to round the corners on that piece, and boom, I had a nice little topper for my die and for the little sticker. Okay, so I'm not doing this how I had it in originally, but I hope that it still looks good. Okay, so this second pocket here, I got her some Halloween bling, and the tops of these were from Hobby Lobby, and so the tops were really just bright orange, and they didn't fit the look that I was going for, so I used papers from the collection, and I just cut out, like I said, some squares, and I rounded the corners, and then I added some Jaded Blossom dies onto the front just to give it a little something. These here are things that I had in my stash that I had made from previous Halloween swaps. So I included a tag that I created for a swap and a pocket letter piecing that I created for a swap. These are extras that I had in my stash. And I had originally cut this topper to use on this project, but since it didn't really fit the aesthetic, I'm just going to include that for her to use on a project. These, I think, were gifted to me in a Halloween swap, and since I'm not doing pocket letters so much, I'm going to go ahead and pass these on to her because they're really cool papers, and I'm sure that I believe that she does do pocket letters, and hopefully she can put those to good use in a nice project for a swap. So that is what is in this pocket here. And just so that you guys know, if you're doing these lot-loaded envelopes, I don't care what kind of adhesive you use. The pockets, when you go to fill them like I'm doing, they will pop, the sides just pop up. They just do. And so in order to help with that, let me show you what I did. I'm just trying to get this to go in here nicely. I went ahead and I stapled the sides. So as I was putting it together, I added with each layer a staple in hopes to keep it from popping up too much. So the only layer that does not have a staple is this very top layer. And it's not too full, so hopefully, see, and I used really good quality adhesive on there, and it still tends to want to pop up. But hopefully the staples will keep the bulk of it together. Okay, so trying to get it together here. And with this top pocket, I did add some sparkly black rickrack on there. And for the big pocket here, I used, you know how your sheets come with a bunch of cut-up parts in those stacks? I took the sheet that goes with this theme and I cut all the cut-up parts. I stuck them in here. I added some borders that I had made using the Jaded Blossom Halloween banner dies, and I stuck those in there. And then I used the same topper from Your Next Stamp that I used for my stitch planner clips to put that on top, and then I added that tulle bow because centered in the back like that, I thought it looked cute. So there's the first thing that's in this big pocket. I purchased some of these Recollections washi stickers, these Halloween themed ones, and since she's going to be getting this at Halloween, hopefully she can use all this stuff next year, because the swap was, we have to mail it by the 25th, so I'm going to be like right there on the deadline. Okay, so that's everything in the pocket, and you can see you have quite a bit of room in there because the little gussets there. So I also included some embellishments that I had in my stash, and these are some little Halloween googly eyes. There's some handmade stickers. Well, not handmade by me, but that's just what it says. Some Halloween themed ones. I had a bunch of these sticker sheets, so I included that in there. And some black heart bling. And that is it. So that is what is all in here. And I'm hoping that she really enjoys this. I'm going to be sending it priority mail because I do want her to receive it for Halloween and open up her goodies. And we live in the same state, so hopefully it will get to her okay. So she's part of one of my local crafty groups. And I know that I've met her before, but she's not somebody that I've ever swapped with. And she makes really cute things. So I hope that she likes what I came up with for her. And so I am not sure. I'm not liking how I'm putting this together. Trying to get it to be, I was happy with it initially, and now I'm going to be fussing with it to try to get it to look cute. And I did add some ribbon here in the front. Again, that the ribbon right there. This label here is from Jaded Blossom, and I used the stamp set. I think I have it right here. It's the one, let me find it. So it's this Magical Halloween one that has the unicorn in there, and I used that one, Wishing You a Magical Halloween, and I used gold embossing powder for that. So there you go. This is my loaded bag, loaded envelope swap that I created for Halloween. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and stopping by my channel. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy crafting, and Halloween is a week away, and I'm sure I'll have more projects to share before then. All right, everybody, until next time, take care. Bye-bye.